I wonder, my slide is clear, right? You can see it.
Yes, yes, doctor, we
Okay.
can see the slides.
Okay, because I'm showing on two screen, I cannot see you. So whenever something went wrong, please let me know. Okay, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. I'm delighted to share our experience in Sohar University, which is related to research teaching Nexus. And I will focus on about our project in solar energy. Long time back we started, where we try to met the research teaching research Nexus. Let me start with the story about renewable energy in Sohar University Faculty of Engineering. In the academic year 2006-2007, we have the first renewable energy course in Sultana. We started for giving this course for renewable energy for our engineering students from different specialties: electrical, mechanical, chemical, and civil. And then after that, we start building our, let me say, infrastructure related to lab, to the project. But still, I have, dream, and I believe that to give a good teaching and a good, let me say, lecture, you need to link what you are giving the lecture with your research interest at least. So I apply with my group on a research grant in 2010, 11, and 2011 we got the grant from funded by Research Council of Oman, around 50,000, and we start building the infrastructure. I will take you through the tour in this presentation, and we try to link the research with teaching through this project. Now, the presentation is simply I will give introduction and the objective, then I will talk about the experimental setup of the project and the results and achievement, and then takeaway, which is my conclusion. These two says I took them from the internet. The first one, if we knew what we are doing, it wouldn't be called research, would it? They mentioned that this is for Einstein. I'm not sure, but I agree definitely with the say itself. The other one is I can't teach anybody anything. I can only make them think. So if I try to link these two together, I will find the common in these two, say, for research and for teaching, is thinking. How we can make our student think. Just the student act as a receiver, as the situation in secondary school, and receiving the knowledge from us is not enough. It's important that our students participate and engage and build with the lecturer the knowledge itself. And this can happen if we link our research to our teaching, as I will show through the discussion here. Now, I don't know my audience from which background, but simply speaking in general, solar energy, the energy come from the sun, can be received by different way. One of them is using solar cell. Solar cell is this small cell, as you can see. It's manufactured from silicon, the second material available in our nature, and it's available everywhere on the land. You can find in dust and sand everywhere. And then we build the module which contain many cells in series and parallel to have higher power and energy, and then we put them in series to panel, and then we make them as an array or matrix, or what we call it the power plant, to get higher, let me say, power and energy. And the project was, at that time, was to investigate the behavior of solar system, different configuration, different type of different technology, and to see if we want to go in investment direction. The government want to know this. What is our situation? How it behave? And beside, we want to develop, let me say, infrastructure in Sohar University related to solar energy and the softwares, if possible. And then we improve skills of our students, focusing on Omani skills and building the capacity, let me say. This is the system at the end when we completed the installation of the system. And it was
Doctor,
opportunity for, yes.
Just to make sure with everyone, do you see the slides changing, or it's on the first slide?
Actually, the first slide.
It's on the
Slides are
first
not
slide.
moving.
Not moving.
I see.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. So
Now,
but
Now.
okay.
sorry.
So Dr. Hussein, maybe is a better idea to share your screen instead of sharing the presentation, so that because it needs the speed of the internet. Sometimes the internet is weak, so that's why it's not the slides are not changing. So, yep.
Now, how is the situation? I'm changing the slides.
It's okay now.
Okay, now?
Yeah, it's much better. Yeah.
Yes, it's okay.
That's
Yes.
great. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
But please choose one computer because it seems you're using two computers, two screens.
So
yes, make one as a primary, and that's the one that we should be seeing for the slides to be large enough.
I don't know how to do this.
You might have to put this one in.
I mean, you cannot see my slide now. I don't know.
Yeah, we see introduction.
Yeah, this
We
is
see
introduction.
2 slides.
Yes.
Yes.
Can we go with this, or I have to do something?
Yes, that's
okay,
fine.
That's fine. That's great. So this is the cell, as I mentioned. We use the cell. We put them in series and parallel to get a model. As I mentioned, them we have a panel, PV panel, and then we have array or matrix or power. Let me say system. And as I mentioned, the objectives for my research grant at that time are 3. I put them simply in 3 points. And this is the system, how it looked like when we finish the installation process. It's happened in 2012. We started from January. We finish, let me say, on because it's need time to purchase the equipment and many communication. And by the way, when you work in a grant, as you know, and most of you, I think they have grants, you will face many barriers, but it was opportunity to learn and to improve your skills. Also, it was a good opportunity when I got the grant to have equipment for my students and to engage them, as I will show later. But let me take you in a fast tour in how we work on the grant. By the way, my students was with me from day number 1. They work with me, they attend the installation and the operation of the system, and later on, the next, let me say, batch group, they came to work with me on the system to take measurement and to do research and literature and lab, as I will explain later on. So this is the place given to me, the left top side of the screen. You can see the place given to me. It's on Barkat building, G building, floor number 4. And this is inside the lab. As you can see, this place has been given to me not because it is important, or let me say it is the right place to give, but because nobody needed it. Actually, what happened is I've been searching for a good place. So whenever I take a place, the difficulties to give it to me, then I selected the place nobody wanted. At the end, this is supposed to be store. So I start putting my course, which is renewable energy, whatever I give in my course, most of them, especially related to energy conservation, in the lab itself. So I work with the civil engineer and people work the group to make sure that the painting, the electricity, the window, the door, take in consideration energy conservation. So we start building the lab. We split it into 2 parts, part for research and development, part for student projects. And then we make the window between two labs for the students, so they can we can monitoring them, because I'm not available in 2 at the same time. Also, we make the installation down, not on the top. We put the AC, and then we start moving to the furniture for the student lab, as you can see to the right top. And then we make a trunk outside, because the cables taken from the different system will be going to the lab inside. We clean the place, and then we make a ladder because you see this chiller. I mean, for AC, I mean, it took from me 3 months, dozens of emails and meetings to convince people that we need ladder here. So it's not easy, and you need to be patient when you work on a grant. Anyway, we clean the place, and then we start doing the calculation for the concrete we want, the number, the size, the type, and then we take it to the other, let me say, side of the building, and then we move it to the right place where we are going to install our system. Then I purchased a weather station. This is the weather station when it came, and then I start building. It was an opportunity for me to learn how to build the weather station, how to make setting, and dealing with different sensors. At that time, was one of the best weather station in Oman. It contained 13 sensors, state of the art in sensor science, let me say. And here I'm doing the setting, and then we put it on the top of the building. And then some of the concrete we have to do it on for many reasons. We have to do it on the roof there, and we did it for the tracking system. People start working with us, and the students also join in this trip to learn how PV system get installed. Definitely, I engage them through the projects also, not only the course. And then we work outside, we work inside, indoor, outdoor. We build the different equipments related to three system, main system at that time. And also the other place of the building, we use it for hybrid system, solar wind, solar thermal, photovoltaic thermal, and so on. And here inside the lab, you can see the equipment. And this is the group. I work with them to install the system, and this is how it look like the system. After that, we add extra, let me say, equipment for innovation. I mean, as example, usually people in the world work on 10 minutes, 15 or 30 minutes, or even 1 hour measurement. So I went to the second. Nobody went to the second because, I mean, it's bulky data, and we are not sure if it is useful, worth to go or not. And later on, found it's worth. So I make a monitoring and control system here. This is the expert from UK, and this is my research assistant at that time, Dr. Tamer. And then we work on the project for 2 years, from 2012 into November 2013. We completed the project, and many results came from this project. By the way, the lab, the small lab, the research and development lab, got award, international, as I will mention later. But we published many articles and few books from this grant. Now, recently, I make announcement that we publish paper number 51, Scopus paper from this grant. So within these 10 years, 51 paper coming from one grant. Now, many achievements actually happened in this project. We did the studies related to design, to the dust, to the humidity, to the temperature, to the irradiance. And I will not talk about technical part because not my point. And you can find many research articles related to this in the internet, in the websites. And also, I will not talk about the achievements from this project, but I will highlight these achievements in general. We look from different side of view. This is research, and we look in different way. People looking from one way, from the load to the sun. We make a mirror. I make a mirror. My idea is to look from the sun to the load, which come up with many new idea and generate many novel, let me say, thoughts. Also, it was a good opportunity to learn on many software related to solar photovoltaic design, but I found that there are shortage in most of them actually, because software designers and people working in the field, they make some constraints and limitations. And I tried to design my own software, and it was registered a patent connected to my weather station. It was a patent from coming from this grant. And later on, tried to collect the main research paper published, the first research papers, around 10 papers, and put them in a book at that time in 2000, published in 2000 in Germany. Now, if I would like to summarize this tour, I mean, the achievements from this grant, it was 51 paper in Scopus Journal, 12 in conference proceeding, 9 seminars, 2 chapters in books, 1 book, 1 patent, and 13 groups, batch group, 873 students trained, students trained in this project, and around 521 schools. I'm talking about thousands of students visited this lab. This lab actually, many visitors came to visit this lab because they heard about it from social media, from the media, from the publication. Some of them from inside Oman, some of them from outside Oman, some of them from Europe, US, and many other places. These are samples of the people visited the lab. Also, the industrial companies visited this lab, and some of them, they was interested to have a collaboration, and we own, let me say, research consultancies with the industry related to solar energy, and we execute them later on. As you can see here, many people visited. Also, it was a good opportunity for our students to work on research and engage in research, engage in seminars, engage in workshop, attended conferences, publish articles. If you link your research to your project, that will come up with a lot of achievement. social media cover this project, and the Research and Development Solar Energy Research and Development Lab on International Award, which is Outstanding Renewable Energy from the World Renewable Energy Congress 2014, and I won the Ambassador or Pioneer of World Renewable Energy in 2016, and many other, let me say, awards coming later on because of the achievement of the project. Now, what about research and teaching? I mentioned that my students already work with me in this project, and they participated in research. The issue is when you have research and you are interested in some topic which is linked to your course, you can engage both, and the course will support your research and the research will support your course. As example, in the renewable energy course, my renewable, I just here pick example, and I try to use my publications, either papers or books, in my course, and pick my students' experience, projects executed here in Sohar University in Oman, rather than talk about case studies in Europe or US. This will excite the students, motivate the students. The students will feel that they are studying something here in Sohar University in Oman. Example, and this is a sample of my lecture notes in renewable energy. You can see here, I always write course coordinator book, course coordinator paper. This is this let me say lecture, maybe 15 sources. I depend on them, references. All of them are mine. I don't need to take from others because I'm here. As example, if I want to show solar energy application, why I go to picture from internet or to picture from let me say the books, other books? Why I don't go to pictures from system in Sohar University? Why, this example, this is in Sohar University, this is a city center in Sohar, this is Majan Electricity Company. I was the supervisor for this project a long time back. And here I don't need to take from other people, let me say publications. I take from my books. As you can see, photo for our systems in our building. This is projects for our students in Sohar University. So this is how we engage our research to our. You don't need to talk about something strange or something you learn from the books. No, you're talking about your experience. You share what you know with your students. So I'm just skipping for every one of these photos. There are many stories, not one story, and all of them are mine. I took them either in a systems here in Sohar University or systems in Oman. We did study on these systems. So here we are using our resources. Also, when you talk about something and you mention to your paper or your book, which is related to this topic, this will be very effective. As example, this paper is my students in Sohar University. They did the project on solar pumping system, and I'm talking about solar pumping system. Why I need to get case study from Europe? Why I don't talk about our students' work? As you can see here, this is their results. Sometimes I give more information about stories. I mean, related to the research which support my teaching. As example, solar pumping system here is a project funded by Rasul Research Council of Oman, and our students here, they work. I show them the steps from A to Z, how the student work. This will be very effective because they will think it this way, our students, that, oh, we are studying something our colleagues executed. That's great. So this is not something from the future or something happening somewhere in the world. This is happening here in our faculty. That's great. This will motivate them. Besides, you can't build on this. It's not only one project. Project bring more projects. Fund bring more funds. And as again, I can say here, we use our publications, our research achievements. All these photos are related to my books, my papers. I don't take from others. And sometimes you may give a hint for the students to expand their information in one or another topic, such as here, as you can see, I'm talking about something. Let me just skip this one second. Okay. So these are systems for my PhD students. And just a minute, all these are my photos, my papers, my books. Okay, this is our results. It's not taken from references, it's our results. As you see here, course coordinator research. This is our papers. Even I sometimes distribute papers for my students to read about them, and then they can do literature on them, and then we may discuss them. See how I enjoy. Definitely, I'm enjoying a lot while I'm delivering my course because it's something I live with it. I mean, I'm working in renewable energy, I'm working in solar energy, I'm doing research, I'm supervising students. Why I don't link my what I'm doing, what I'm enjoying and doing to my course? This will help a lot. These are our results. This system, as example, is our final year project system a long time back, and they improve it. Many other groups came to improve it. You can see these are our results. I'm just showing you how we link our research in our courses. When I remember our previous vice chancellor, when he saw my lectures, he said, what I'm seeing in this lecture is Hussein Kadhim. I'm seeing everything related to you, which is good because, I mean, you are not taking from other resources, you're taking it from yourself. These are your paper, these are your research, these are your equipment, your students' achievements. So all these are our students. Let me back to my presentation. So now the takeaway, I try to finish in the next few slides, 2-3 slides. Takeaway, which is my conclusion, what we come up from this, okay? Engage students in research activities and spread awareness to the community through them. I remember when I started this course, 2006, 2007, I told them that you are my ambassador. Whatever I will say about energy conservation, is energy efficiency, how we have to care for energy, please, when you learn it, when you back home, help your family to be aware about these issues because they don't know. You are my ambassador, please spread this to your community. Link teaching research to Omani needs and let it help and serve community. I try also to focus on our needs here in Oman. I mean, I don't take, let me say, problem in other countries. So as it happened, as example, one of the researchers in Kuwait, they try to take one of the cases in NASA and they investigated. Let's focus on our needs. What we need here in Oman, what we need here in Suhar, in the industrial area, and try to link it to our research and our courses. Definitely, we need to focus on lower solar energy costs, higher solar energy efficiency, more energy specifications, applications. Applications is important. Students will enjoy when they work on. Can you mute, Dr. Zainab? Can you mute the sound? Okay. But not to mute me. Okay. You hear me, right, Dr. Zainab?
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes,
that's
doctor.
great.
Go on.
That's great.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Okay, focus on the application in your community. You know, when you tell one of this, I remember some of my students have a farm, okay, and they talk about problem related to the water pumping. When I help them through the course, through our research, they will enjoy. Definitely, they participate. They will, because they feel that this is something related to their life. When I talk with some students, I mean, they suffer from the way how they dry fruits, as example, or fishes in Oman, and I try them, I help them in doing research related to, which is part of our course also at the same time, related to solar drying, and they do projects or assignment related. They are doing something related to their community, their life, which will be, let me say, supporting, motivate them to work on. Encourage the student to pick real problem. Usually I give them opportunity to take a problem. Sometimes I try to highlight names of topics related to problems happen here in Oman or in Suhar, related either to domestic problems or related to agriculture problem or industrial problem. And then I give them, which is also related to research, to my grant also. And many engage them. Sometimes I started, I remember, with student visits later, long time back, from schools to my lab. I take them in a tour and explain them. Then I start taking my students with me to see how I do the tour. Later on, the students start taking other school students to make the tour. I mean, you spread your message, you spread your information. Students, when they are close with you in your research, through the course and through the research, this will get high benefit for the researcher himself, for the lecturer, and for the students. You enjoy because you are talking about something you are doing, you are enjoying, your passion, And at the same time, the students will learn not only from the theoretical part, but they can see this practically. So this is my contact details. I finish here, by the way. Thank you very much, and I will listen to your questions. But just in case, if you want to be in touch, these are my. You can just pick a photo if you have your mobile phone close to you. And thank you. By the way, this is a project funded by Research Council and Oman, and it was a collaboration between UKM and Siri Solar Energy Research Institute in Malaysia. I will stop here and listen to your question, please. Dr. Zainab.
Thank you very much, Doctor. It was very, nice presentation, and we can see how much you love your teaching as well as your research, and how you are indulgent both. Maybe I don't know. Maybe we can listen to other people experience from outside, like from other universities or from our universities. It's like it's a good opportunity here. Like, we want to share experience, and if they have any questions or comments, so please.
Excuse me, I'm Say Zuhur from SQU. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so I just want to request, is your papers available for us if you want to go through it and to study, and suggest our student to contact you in future for any project if they want to go in the same area?
Yes, Doc. It's available. You can find it on website. Just write Solar Energy Hussein Kazim. You'll find dozens of papers. But if there is some paper you have to pay from the website, just send me email. You have my contact, and I will be happy to send you. Even my books, I will be happy to send you by email.
Yeah, I appreciate if somebody can share your email ID and contact details with all of us.
Okay, definitely. We can. I can send that to representative from the universities, so we can share the contact details of Dr. Hussein.
I will put it on the.
Thank you very much. That's nice.
Okay, thank you very much. I will try to put it in a message.
Okay, that's a good idea, Doctor. You can put it in the chat box, and it will reach everyone.
I'm trying to search for the chat. I'm waiting to listen to more questions. I expect you to talk more than me. Please. Dr. Zainab, from where I go to the chat?
Doctor is up there. I will send a message so you can see.
Okay. Did you send the message?
Yes.
Still, it's not appearing. Why?
It's up there, Doctor. Up in the up the screens. You have tabs.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
We have people, we have chat, we have reaction, we have rooms, question answer, and more.
Yeah, I'm trying to search for it. Okay. Yeah, I'm waiting for more questions.
It's just beside now the place that where you are looking for. Beside it on the left.
This to the left. This is question and answer.
Yep.
Okay.
Can you do? Okay.
Yeah, I think
no?
I can. Yeah. Post.
Right.
That's great. But I'm waiting to listen to more questions, please. Because with the discussion, by the way, you know something, researchers have different language, different from other people. You need people who understand your, let me say, your language to interact with them. So if you have another researcher, this is what happened in Europe, in US, and many other countries, who have, let me establish a good research. Researchers sit together with each other and discuss their problems. Imagine you are working in the field, no other colleagues working in this field with whom you will talk. But if you engage your students, they will talk with you. They will ask you questions. They will engage with you. All the time you are having new ideas and new opinions, a new question you never dream to know about them, and then you start searching for answer for. So you attract other people, the students, to your area, to your place, to your comfortable zone, and start having discussion with you. So it's good to have your students in your research, engage in your research one way or another. Still waiting. Yeah, there is somebody rise. Yeah, Asma, please.
Yes. Assalamu alaikum, Dr.
Alaikum
Hussein. How are
salam.
you?
Hayatullah. I'm fine. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you for this very stimulating lecture and webinar. I wanted to ask you, like, since you are an active researcher and you said you are involving your students, but I wanted to know how did you design your assessment to include or cooperate, like, your students within your project? Was it like in a form of you give them mini project within the bigger scope of the project itself, or how did you involve them in the assessment
Thank
of the
you.
courses?
Thank you very much. This is a good question, and you remind me with something I intended to say, but I forget. Sorry. Yeah, it's good if you make part of the course, the assessment tools. We have quizzes, midterm, we have lab, but you give assignment or a project. Sometimes I give assignment and the project at the same time. It depends on and on the batch, on the revision of the assessment tool. So as example, I gave a project to my students in renewable energy and level 4 for all the 4 streams: electrical, mechanical, chemical, and civil. Each one, okay, have a topic related to their specialty linked to renewable energy. As example, if I am focusing on solar mainly, solar and wind, but solar mainly. So I try to let the electrical students work on solar photovoltaic, mechanical and chemical work on either solar photovoltaic thermal system or hybrid system or water desalination, solar water desalination system. And civil engineering, they focus on energy conservation in building. They have assignment on this or sometime project. Chemical also, I let them work on producing hydrogen using a fuel cell, which is what we call a green energy, and fuel it to fuel cell. And I link to the computer. I have the infrastructure for this. So try to engage your research by project or assignment, mainly by project and assignment. Definitely, some bonus questions related to research will be given through the course to motivate students to work on this. But also, I cannot mention, didn't mention that final year project is a real problem taken through the whole year, academic year, from semester 1 to semester 2 on your research. These students batch group will be engaged with you the whole year. I mean, you give them more than others. So in this way, it have to be part of the assessment. Otherwise, I mean, you reduce the motivation. But still, motivation is there even without assessment motivation, because the students see the experience of their colleagues of something happen in the university. And by the way, it's not happen only in this course. I try to make other courses, which is even if they are not related to renewable energy, but try to use our experience project. As example, in electronic and electrical circuits, our students work on design of projects, amplifier as example. Power amplifier, you connect it to the computer with a speaker and so. So rather than I take the data or the information from textbooks to show in my lecture to my students, I try to take my students' previous batch projects data in my lecture. In this way, I'm motivate my students because they see results, real results happened in our labs in Sohar University and Faculty of Engineering. Their colleagues, their previous colleagues, they did this experiment. It's not something taken from textbooks, happened in US or Europe. No, it's our work. I'm still waiting for other questions. Please, I mean, the question will enrich the discussion.
Okay, following what you said, Dr. Hussein, so do you make these assessment customized according to the background and the program of the student, or you
Yes,
give them
yes.
one kind of like assessment for all?
Okay, for specialties, as example, when we have four specialties, electrical, mechanical, chemical, and civil, each group, I mean, in chemical, let me say I have 5 groups. All these groups have the same project sometimes. Sometimes I distinguish between them. When you distinguish, I mean, they give different topics related to chemical and linked to renewable energy. This will be difficult for you, especially when you have large number of groups, especially to follow up, especially to provide the, let me say, the equipment, especially to in marking, difficult in marking. But definitely, I agree with you that we have to give specific topics for each specialty. For electrical, different from mechanical, from civil, but related to renewable energy. Thank you, Dr. Asma.
Dr. Hussein, do you think this is applicable for all fields, or it's more with the maybe engineering or science, or it's also applicable for humanities?
Yeah, I totally agree with you. The last one with the humanity. I mean, with all, I mean, to humanity as a specialty. I mean, we as a human, we do research. Definitely, Dr. Zainab is in English background. She do research in her background, but she can link her research to the subject she delivered. Dr. X or Dr. Y, everybody have his specialty. You do research not far from the lectures or the topics they deliver in their courses. So if you link this research, your research, to your project, regardless what is your specialty, regardless, it's happening in all specialties. And by the way, sometimes we can link other specialties to our specialty and come up with let me say, a wide knowledge. As example, I try to link solar energy, renewable energy, to other specialties in faculty of engineering, chemical, mechanical. I learn from chemical students, from chemical staff, from mechanical. I learn a lot actually from civil. Besides, I try to expand my field by looking to from other side of view. As example, economic side of view. So people working in economic, they can help me, and I did. I supervised some students in economic, looking from this side of view to the renewable energy. Another PhD students from even from politics. One of the politicians in the country, I supervised him in his PhD. He work on renewable energy from politics side of view. You got it? Regulation. You can look to your field from other side of view, and this enrich your experience. Okay, and you will enjoy definitely because you are expanding your area, research area. You are focusing on one, but you are expanding the circle, increasing every day, and definitely this will reflect on you and your students.
Yeah, thank you.
Still waiting. I mean, we still have time, I think. So please, if you have a question, share it with us.
Not only questions, if they have other experience and how they
Yeah,
link their
yeah.
research to their teaching and how they manage to do that. I mean, we
Yeah.
will be happy to,
Yeah, definitely.
to listen to that.
Sometimes when I talk about renewable energy with others in seminar or in conferences, some students from different specialty, humanity, as example, they feel disappointed that I didn't went in the direction of science and engineering to work on renewable energy because I attract them through the discussion. But what always I mention to the students, I mean, all specialties are good and are important, and you can expand the specialty by looking from different side of view. It's good to link the humanity with the science, with the engineering, with the medicine. It's good to look from different sides. This is the science today. Nobody work alone. We work in teams. We work in groups. Besides, we expand our knowledge. I'm electrical background, but I work with chemical, with mechanical. I enter to the nano area as example, which is not my field, but with time I start learning. I did some experiment even. Okay, so you expand your information, and this message should be given to the students also. And by the way, while you talk about your research in your courses, I'm sure you will talk positively, and the student need a lot of positiveness, a lot of motivation, especially today. I mean, with the much complicated world, we need to motivate our students. If they see you, their lecturer, work in a positive way and try to motivate them, they will give. They will like the subject. They will like what you are giving, and they will engage more. So we need to be more positive by engaging our research to the teaching.
Dr. Hussein, thank you very much for presenting this very important experience, in fact, and sharing your knowledge and your experience with us. Very inspiring indeed.
Thank you. Thank you.
I only have one consideration, one question related to, for instance, in humanities, to which I belong. We have ethical applications and ethical approvals to be able to run any kind of research that is involving human subjects. And for that, I wonder how I would involve my students in my research every year without applying for a new ethical approval every year. We faced this obstacle in my previous working place, in which we involved the students. Some were very motivated, but some felt that they were serving as research assistants, and they didn't like that. They didn't want to give their ideas and to collect data or provide research questions or generate new hypotheses or whatever to the research team. At the end of the day, they were not given any credit more than that this was an assignment in their course, and they were evaluated for it, but they felt forced to do that for us to be able to conduct our research. Have you faced any complaints similar to that, and how would you handle such complaints? Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. I mean, when you engage your students for projects, I mean, it's different from assignment or mini project within the course. Mini project within the course or even assignment, I mean, it's just small case study. They do it in the lab. But for final year projects, as example, your students will work 1 year with you, and the results are their results. Okay, yes, you are the supervisor, you guide them, but all of you share the same results and the same effort. So when you publish something from this, definitely you encourage your students by publishing something. The student would be happy to see their work going to the world. So, and they will be happy more if you let them go and represent the paper in the conference. I remember in our first batch in maybe 2004, 2005, my students published three from final year project, 3 articles, 1 in a journal, 2 in a conferences. I encourage them, their name in the paper. So I mean, we should not. We should consider our student effort when we publish something. We should let them or motivate them, having the same feeling we have. We enjoy when we do research. I mean, they take the credit already, not by mark only, okay, by supporting you in your research, but they enjoy it. They did something, they like it, okay? And definitely, if you they have part of your research which lead to a publish a paper, you have to acknowledge them based on their weight. If it is up to be authors, then you need to put them as authors. And if up to the acknowledgement statement, you put them in the acknowledgement statement. And this way, you give the credit for people. which
just
is
a clarification, Dr. Hussein, just a clarification. What
Yes.
you're describing is when they write their graduation project or thesis. In this case, definitely they are not co-authors. They are the main authors, definitely.
Right.
What I'm asking about is when they are in other courses where they are given an assignment to do a certain part, a specific part, or to collect data or something that is not related to their final thesis writing or whatever. In this case, it is a part of a course content, and it is the weightage is, let's say, 10%, but we're using what they have collected in our research. This is what I'm talking about. Definitely in acknowledgements, they are acknowledged, but still they feel that they are used in our research, and although they are evaluated for their contribution, definitely, but just a clarification, Doctor.
Thank you very much. I got it. I mean, if they do assignment as example or mini project related to the topic, and definitely when the student feel that it's just extra work for the lecturer, not for them, for their benefits, they will feel it and they will see it. And you cannot avoid that the student have this feeling. But if you design your course so that the students will really learn from the task given to them, they will not have this conflict. I mean, I design my course. I don't know about your specialty or your course, but in my situation, I design my course, the equations and the theoretical part, I talk about them, which is taken from my publications and my also books. They go to the lab to do assignment related to this equation, and they will use the equipment I have in my lab. So everything related to them, everything to make sure that I focus on them, to give them and to transfer the knowledge. They will not have such feeling. I never faced such feeling with my students when they work in assignment, or they didn't think that I will just try to use them to do, let me say, experimental to get data or do literature. I will use by my benefit. No, it never happened. I mean, they can feel, the students, they are smart. They can feel if it is in the wrong or right direction.
Thank you very much, Dr. Hussein, for sharing your experiences. Very clear. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Please feel free to share your experience. This is enriched, and sometimes I find in the question something highlighted which is really will develop me.
So if no more questions or let's say things to raise, so maybe we will end our session here and now. Thank you very much for everyone who attended the session today. Thank you very much for Dr. Hussein for sharing his experience. And we are looking forward to other, next sessions with other experience and other speakers. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Dr. Zain. Thank you all. Thank you. Have a good day. Have a good day.